Thank you all for being here today. Standing here with me, I have Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Chris McFadden, as well as Director Bethany Bizak. My name is Eric Dargan. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for the City of San Diego. And today we're here to talk about our pavement conditions and the city's plan for road repair and maintenance throughout this great city. I have the honor of welcoming you to the city's Choya's operations yard. As you can see, this is a very active facility, and we have many different departments here. But this is the primary home to our transportation department, where crews come to work here every day. Hundreds of employees arrive here early in the morning, gear up, and deploy around the city, fixing our streets, filling our potholes, and fixing our sidewalks. We're also thankful for the work they do, and we're very proud to be a part of this organization, and we're very proud to serve the San Diegans throughout this city. For the first time in 7 years, the city conducted an overall assessment of our road conditions. Every street in every neighborhood was reviewed, and the data collected that's given us a better understanding of the overall condition of our road network. And I'm sorry to report that we're not where we desire to be. But the reason this data collection is so important is because it gives us the information we need to make crucial decisions about our streets. Here in San Diego, we strive to make data-driven decisions, not personal decisions. This allows us to plan and budget accordingly. For the past several weeks, the Transportation Department has been analyzing this information and evaluating the best path forward. Now I'm going to bring up Transportation Director Bethany Bizak for a little bit more detail.
Good morning. Thank you, Eric, for the introduction. Thank you all for joining us at this event this morning. As you heard our Chief Operating Officer, Eric Dargan, say, we are at the Choya's Maintenance Yard, where most of the city's transportation operations originate every day. That includes what we are all here to talk about: San Diego's roads, their condition, and their repair. San Diego currently maintains more than 6,000 lane miles of roadway. And though many staff, crew, and contractors are employed by the city, we've been working hard to make the roads safer and smoother. It is no secret that many of these miles and segments are in bad shape. Over the course of several months over last year, the City of San Diego conducted the first pavement condition assessment in 7 years. This assessment process uses state-of-the-art tools to measure and score roadway surface conditions on a scale of 0 to 100, with 0 being failed and 70 to 100 categorized as good. We have found over the assessment that was completed that San Diego's overall pavement condition index score is currently 63. That's scoring in the category of fair. The current fair score of 63 is 9 points below our previous score of 71 in 2016 and 8 points below the city and industry standard of 70. The California statewide average for other municipalities that we benchmarked is 65, so we're even below our nearest counterparts. Though we expected to see a lower score from this most recent assessment, what we're excited to have is an official benchmarking score not only for the overall city average, but also a score for each and every road segment across the city. Now, with this data in hand, we can dramatically change how we plan and, importantly, how we fund road surfacing and slurry seal projects for our most frequently traveled roads. That is where our new pavement plan comes in. Released this week, the Transportation Department's Pavement Management Plan is a first of its kind for the city to summarize the current citywide street conditions, proactively identifying funding needs, and making strategic investments to provide a reliable transportation network for all of our communities in San Diego. In FY24, Mayor Todd Gloria dedicated a record $140 million investment to repair city streets by focusing on repairing San Diego's high-volume roadways. In 2023, 250 miles of roadway were repaired and resurfaced, and more than 61,000 potholes were filled. That's a 94% increase over the previous year. While this amount was one of the highest seen in a city budget, and over 3 times the annual average allocation, the amount is still not enough to maintain the network of our roads. With known sources of funding, San Diego's pavement condition will drop to a poor PCI score of 45 in just 10 years. In order to get back to achieving the goal of an overall PCI of 70 or higher, the funding will need to be significant. The total investment of $1.9 billion will be needed over the next 10 years just for our roadway network alone. But in the next 5 years, as we proposed in our 5-year paving plan, we have important announcements to be able to share with our community. And we should go to streets.sandiego.gov to see those important announcements, to see if we fully fund our network, where street segments will be paved over the next 5 years. Thank you.
That pretty much concludes our information. If there's questions, we'll entertain questions.
Is there a particular area or particular neighborhood in San Diego that's seeing the worst streets? And will they be getting repaired first, or is that where the priority is?
With the most recent pavement management plan, what we've seen is all council districts are ranked in the fair category. Council District 3, we're seeing slightly smaller scores overall. Those do tend to have the higher arterial roads and collectors that we've seen have degraded faster over the past condition assessment.
So will they be prioritized first then in District 3? Or?
We do have a prioritization process, and based on funding, we will prioritize all those roads accordingly when funding is available.
You said that the last time an assessment was done was 7 years ago. Is that standard procedure, or is there another reason why it's been 7 years?
Industry standard is to conduct a pavement condition assessment every 4 years. That is our desire, to conduct that every 4 years, pending funding availability.
Talk about the Streets SC webpage, what you're hoping to get out of it, why people should use that, how they can take that.
Streets.sandiego.gov has been overhauled. It's got much more information than it previously had. For instance, it has, for every single street segment, there's the PCI in 2016 is represented, the PCI in 2023, the status of a funded segment or non-funded segment, and what year, if we were to receive a fully funded program, what year funding and payment would occur.
What would you tell residents in San Diego who are really frustrated about a street outside their home that has been for years not paved? What would you tell them?
I would say engage in the budget process. It's going to be a very challenging budget year, but it's really important to continue reporting potholes, which is the proactive means for us to repair our streets, but also engage in the budget process. Look at streets.sandiego.gov and participate through the upcoming year.